Awesome. Thanks so much for having me here. Go ahead and bring that up. And it was awesome to do the one-on-one. So I appreciate that. It was great to be a little reflective. And yeah, so my name is Mark. I'm CEO and founder of Thread now. You may have heard of us as ChatGenie. We are Chat and Genies No More. We are Thread and full of pirates. If you saw us at IT Nation, and I apologize for the nasally voice as Kevin said, 80% of us did come back sick, and I'm still fighting it off, but really glad to be here. So we were founded in 2019. We have a brand new product category that I don't think many folks are in or are in fully, which is service collaboration. We have over 280 partners today, with a lot of them being on our free plan because we've had a free plan since we've been created. We've killed 30 million tickets to date, and we'll talk a little bit about why we hate tickets. The markets we support today and where we see a lot of our partners is North America, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and what we see a lot of is MSPs that specialize by region, by technology, by vertical, and are looking to change the way they deliver service experience. So I want to take you down on a little journey, and we kind of recapped what IT services look like in 22, which it's been growing for all of us, thank God, and the industry is doing well despite the downturn, but we're still delivering services like it's 1999. And I mean that because I think the last innovation there was when the closed loop email connector came out, and hopefully some of you are laughing because it's hard to call that an innovation when 17 people reply to one closed loop email and you get 17 tickets created out of that. So there's a few things that we're seeing that are driving a change in that experience. And I think the first one that we've known is that the ability to collaborate from anywhere has become a priority, and I think it's here to stay. Microsoft Teams was the most popular app. God bless monopolies. And Slack is still a strong seventh. Zoom as well. We consider a collaboration app. A lot of IT folks, 24% of them, still say that support for remote work is a priority for partners that dispatch, IT people. You can see that this shift to virtual help desk or virtual field services is big. We are seeing a lot more SaaS apps per small SMBs, and so that's increasing a lot more apps per business, but also MSPs are using a lot more tools to support customers. And then we're seeing the availability and cost of talent become a lot more expensive, where a lot of people have shifted the costs, because people are working remotely. You're now competing with global MSPs that you wouldn't have otherwise, and so that's becoming a big problem. And then we're seeing vertically integrated players like Electric.ai, which is a software slash MSP, really drop and put pressure as they're dropping the per user per month price, and they're doing that because they're buying market share and trying to treat it like a software company. And that's creating a lot of pressure on partners today. And I know that because I worked at an MSP for 10 years, and our co-founder Matt did as well. So we're freshly out of the MSP just in May. And so when we distill this down, we see the problem is that end users just can't get the great IT service when and where they need it. So the users themselves want that experience to be great, and they want it to be consumer grade. I think we're all spoiled by our awesome Instagrams and Facebooks and YouTube apps, and so I think end users are now expecting that same level of experience. And then customers, which we consider is this SMB itself, really want higher levels of service, and also they're dictating more and more where they want that delivered. And then on our side, the IT service partner, it's really hard to differentiate. There's so many of us, and it's really hard to scale that business up. And so started to reflect on why is this happening, and how did we get here, right? So we understand that there's pressures, economic or outside pressures. We understand the desires, and we came to a conclusion that it's a ticket. We hate parking tickets. We hate speeding tickets. If you guys saw us at IT Nation, we held a funeral to the ticket, and we think that death to the ticket is the way to solve it. And we'll tell you why. So tickets really frustrate users. If you look at this chart, it's each row is a person within the process, and at the end of the day, you have a customer that just comes in to say, "I need help." And you're seeing how many different people it goes through and how many different steps for all of you, how many statuses, boards do you have? How many processes do you have? And so what's really funny is that even though we're doing so much, the customer feels like nothing's happening. Even though we're trying to dispatch it, assign it, put it into a queue, for them it looks like nothing is happening at all until they finally get that message to come out. Now, the other funny part is that even though we have SLAs, and it looks like we're hitting our SLAs, but that's because we do things like being able to put the status on hold. And we're saying, yeah, we got it done in 2 hours, but in reality, it turns out to be a lot more. So the experience is completely mismanaged. So we as IT providers are like, yeah, we hit our SLAs. And the end user's like, I just lost so much time. I just lost productivity. And so the other part is then the ticket is completely disconnected from the communication layer. So when you need help, where do you go? You have to find the support email address. You have to find the IT company's phone number. And it's annoying. And then when you need an update, you have to follow up saying, okay, well, can somebody please get back to me and let me know what's the status of this? And we're thinking, well, what if we can make it simpler? What if we could just work together? And that's where we came up with our new name. And it's all about threads. So what Thread is, it's a service collaboration platform. It's the best way to get IT service done across all channels, phone, email, and what we're introducing is the ability to actually support your customers in their Slack or Teams, and you can be in your Slack or Teams. So you don't have to federate your teams to teams where they can get access to your CEO, start developing bias on that one engineer that did a good job for them, and now they're messaging them directly. You're still being able to have a service framework, but they're able to communicate with you in their teams through a custom Slack app that I'll show you, or a Teams app, and you can get it in your Teams or your Slack. We also do have Inbox, which is our service collaboration UI, a unified inbox. And what it is it's real-time and multiplayer. You could see other people. For example, you need to get a site contacts approval, or you need internal change management. All of the updates fly in real time, so you don't need to update a form, refresh your PSA. And what we do is we essentially automate the ticket to death, because based on the conversation that's happening between the customer and the end user, we're creating the ticket in the PSA. We're mapping it to the right company, the right contact. We're putting in the status. We're able to start the timer as soon as you respond. When you're done responding with the timer, we know, or done with the conversation, we know that the time entry is done. And we just launched Copilot, the very first AI that writes your time entries for you. It reads the conversation and is actually able to do that for you.
Mark, sorry, it's about that time to wrap things up.
Awesome, yeah. So threads do make things a lot easier. 7 minutes goes by a lot faster than you think. And so I'll be able to dive more into this in the breakout session. We have seen efficiencies. We do focus on specialized MSPs, and we're $17 per customer per month. I'd love to dive deeper into this at the breakout session and kill some tickets together.